What is a massive American scandal that most people seem to not know about? The Church of Scientology blackmailed and threatened IRS people to get their tax-exempt status. In terms of political scandals that were major at the time but hardly remembered today, the Sxzym operation. The FBI set up a fake Arab investment company and offered various state and federal officials bribes to pass bills that would better enable their investment process. It led to the convictions of half a dozen representatives and a senator for bribery. The Keating Five. In 1989, in the midst of the savings and loan crisis, banker Charles Keating was charged with fraud and racketeering. During the investigation, 5 senators to whom he'd donated substantial sums, including John Glenn and McCain, were accused of having pressured federal regulators to drop previous cases against Keating. The Senate Ethics Committee found that none of them had formally broken any laws, but found 3 of them were implicated enough to be formally censured. The House banking scandal. It was revealed that numerous congressmen had been overdrawing their office accounts with zero financial accountability. It resulted in the convictions of 3 former representatives and the House Sergeant at Arms for bribery and corruption. The Abramoff scandals. Jack Abramoff was a federal lobbyist, primarily involved in gambling and Indian tribal law, who was convicted of defrauding and overbilling Indian tribal councils he was representing to the tunes of tens of millions of dollars. Investigations also revealed that he was giving unlicensed gifts to congressmen, leading to a representative being convicted of accepting bribes and the Deputy Secretary of the Interior being convicted of obstruction of justice. The absolute and cataclysmic failure of the foster care system. Day given to pregnant women from 1940 until 1971. It gave girls who were born after prenatal exposure a much higher risk of several cancers, including one cancer that no one else gets. It also causes an inability to carry pregnancies in some women who were exposed to it before birth. Boys born after exposure were cryptorchid and had a high rate of micropenis. There was a registry for these children so they could be tracked for medical needs and if other effects cropped up. But Congress did away with the registry. The changes that day caused to gene expression are heritable, and it is now affecting day granddaughters and great-granddaughters. While Congress has funded continuing research on effects, there is no registry anymore, so no possibility that day daughters will ever see any compensation. The FDA approved the drug for use in pregnant women based on a single non-blind study. The Move bombing in Philadelphia. The business plot against FDR. Wall Street tried to lead a coup against sitting President FDR. The media destroyed Gary Webb's career because he exposed the CIA's connection to cocaine. Newspapers like the New York Times later apologized. The for-profit juvenile detention system. Basically, judges in Pennsylvania were intentionally handing out harsher sentences because these for-profit juvenile prisons contributed to the judges' campaign. In PA they elect their judges, which blows my mind for this very reason, but that's another story. Tuskegee Syphilis Study. It was a 40-year-long study conducted between 1932 and 1972 by the U.S. Public Health Service that involved 400 African American men with syphilis who were not informed of their condition or given proper treatment in order to study the progression of the disease. Not sure how big a deal it is in America, but I read Empire of Pain recently in the opioid crisis, and the behavior of basically everyone involved with the Sackler family and its companies was absolutely shocking. The NYC mayor's wife misplaced a whole lot of money and nobody seems to care. Edit. Warren Wilhelm. more commonly known as Bill de Blasio, appointed his wife, who then proceeded to lose $850 million. Edit 2. https en.m.wikipedia.org/wiki/Shirlane McRae. Ohio right now? Edit. Who doesn't love the smell of cancer in the morning? Ah, big sniff. The business plot. Smedley Butler alleged that a cadre of Wall Street bigwigs approached him through a bonds salesman to lead an army of 500,000 men on Washington, overthrow FDR, and install Butler as a dictator. It was laughed off as a could never happen. But the committee assigned to investigate it discovered that basically the plan was already finished, and the conspirators were just waiting to pull the trigger. The CIA trafficking cocaine to the U.S. to sell to drug dealers to fund death squads in Central America. Also the general incompetence of the CIA. The Teapot Dome scandal and the Iran-Contra affair were both pretty sketch. While these are both very well-known scandals in the history community, they are far less known among the general public. The massive trafficking, abandonment and unregulated rehoming of adopted children. People putting up advertisements trying to give away the children they have adopted like they are dogs in a shelter, including many adopted from foreign countries. Go to Africa. Pick up a cute black child to show everyone how godly you are. Abuse them when they aren't grateful enough and then give them away someone from Facebook. Right now, Chernobyl light. A massive death plume spanning multiple counties in Ohio is raining down hydrochloric acid onto people because a train carrying vinyl chloride was deliberately classified as non-hazardous to save Norfolk Southern money and regulatory inconveniences. Pretty much everything Henry Kissinger did in his entire career. The fact that he's not locked away for crimes against humanity is truly remarkable. The Tulsa Race Massacre. 35 square blocks. https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Tulsa Race Massacre. The FBI knew the pedophile Larry Nassar was a molesting child gymnasts and allowed him to continue. For years, they went so far as to falsify the testimony of the victims. No one at the FBI has been punished. Nassar was sentenced in 2017.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.